Hey guys, it's Ann from Pearson Belt Home in Old Town Spring, which is located in Spring, Texas. Thank you for joining me today. When you hop on, let me know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the comments. All right, so today we are going to be doing a couple of different things with our golds. We're painting with the pale gold right here, Paint Couture's pale gold. Let's see. Gets used to the camera being opposite. All right, so there we go. And we're also going to be using a close match to pale gold, pretty close, is a vintage gold right here from Prima. And we're also going to be using a stick and style stencil. So we'll go ahead and get started. Again, when you guys hop on, just tell me where you're watching from. And I hope your weather is more fall-like than ours. It's probably almost 90 degrees outside. It's pretty warm. I was pretty excited Friday, and that was the only pretty day that we had that we could actually open the doors, turn off the air conditioner, and all that good stuff. So I was kind of sad. I'm ready for fall. So anyway, so what we're going to do on this drawer, I'm going to show you real quick. So this is our drawer that we've been painting this piece. We've started this piece with Paint Couture on Thursday. We're going to continue with it on Thursday, but I want to do some other projects with it today with you guys. So what I wanted to do is do something kind of fun on the drawer. When you pull it out, you'll see some kind of cool something up going on right here. So I picked out the Redesign Cornell Garden, and this is stick and style. It comes on a roll and it's reusable. It's a sticky stencil. So we do have these. They are coming back in stock Thursday. We'll get another order of these in. So just FYI, in case you want this one, we've got a couple other styles already on hand. So what I'm going to do, let's see if you guys can see. All right. And you know, Facebook has done some new things, so I'm seeing myself in the bottom corner, so it's really weird to see me in the delay. And go Facebook with all your updates. So I don't know how many of you get affected with any of your updates with Facebook, but I feel like once I get to learn it and use it, then I have to start all over again. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead. This one's going to be fairly easy. This one's pretty much the same size as our stencil. Okay, so I'm lining that up and I'm going to push that down. Let's see, I'm going to use a cloth on pushing that down. I want to make sure that I get it nice and adhered on there. And I've already used this one today twice, so I'm using it again on this drawer. Okay, I'm just going to kind of press all this down, and I want to be really gentle because there's some parts that can pop up. These are little floral designs, so they will kind of snag, so you want to be careful. I seem to be more brute with my finger, so that's why I'm using a cloth to kind of help get that stuck. And it'll be okay if it's not, because we're using a wax on this, and the wax is not as prone to bleeding through or underneath my stencil here. So alright, so I got it all nice and down for the most part. Like I said, there's gonna be some spots that aren't. So what I don't want, I'm a little OCD with this, so there's like a little ridge from the front. I really didn't want to put any design on that, so I just wanted to cover that up with my blue tape, so it's kind of just a little line there, and it's just where the joinery joins, and it's just a definite line, so I wanted to keep that a definite line on that. Okay, so if you guys have ordered the Prima waxes, these are the Finnabar or the metallic waxes that usually come in little small little pallets. They're now coming in tubes, the same amount, same price. So lovely. I have a love for these tubes. So what you're going to do is we're going to pour it into a little container. See, I've already used this one. Hey guys, thank you for joining me. Of course, you know, spread the love, spread around our video, all that good stuff. Encourage your people to follow us. All right, so we got that on there good. So let me go ahead and turn this back down again. All right, here we go. Ta-da. All right, so most of you know I am 6'3", so fitting all of me in one frame is almost impossible. So you get the bits of me. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start applying. This has got my wax on it. I just put a little bit on there. It doesn't need to be a whole lot. And we're just gonna go ahead and start applying it on the wood or on our stencil. And I just kind of apply it, and you can kind of tell when you're doing this. This is harder to tell. We're doing gold on natural wood. I just want a very small, very subtle look to this. I don't want it to be super duper bright. So when I got a lot on my brush, I'm just going to kind of damp some of that off, and then I'll swirl it around and get it in all my little flowers here. But I can kind of see the difference between the wood and the gold. This is vintage gold, and I really do like it a lot. So it's very pretty. It's going to be very subtle. I'm not using the paint for this because I find that I'm a little messier with paint, and the metallic paints for me, I tend to get them underneath my stencil, which is not the look I'm looking for. All right, so we're gonna go and cover the whole thing here. And you can kind of tell when you run out of wax. And it doesn't have to be totally covered. It could be a light and dark. Would be kind of pretty as well. Okay, got a lot on there, so I'm gonna dab some of that off. Now my other two drawers are a little wider, so I do center this within that width. I just went a 1/2 inch down with a perfect starting points right in the middle. All right. All right, I pretty much got all of this done. And I used up all of my wax. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take this off. So just kind of peel it off. I'm gonna go down just a little bit more so you guys can see the transformation there. Let's see if you guys can see it. So we have like some heavier spots, some lighter spots. So I love the look it gives. So let's see if we can lift this up so you guys can see that. All right, so you see we've got this like fine metallic-y. You can see that, there we go. See a little bit better there. But I love it because you get a little bit of a metallic. So when you pull up in the drawers, you'll see this really cool metallic floral design on the piece. And this is what I was talking about, I taped off. I didn't want to get it over here. I just made that a border and taped that part off and just had that going everywhere else. So this will have to dry, and it will dry hard. So don't worry about it not setting up. So it will set up for you. We've already done one of our drawers, and we'll finish up those two this week. All right, so now we'll let that dry, and we're gonna go ahead and start on this project. This piece, I'm gonna have to sit on the floor. I've got to get the legs, and I've got it to move, so I can't go any further down. Unfortunately, this stool is not short enough for me. So I'm gonna go ahead, and y'all understand I'm 6'3", so getting all the way down on the ground and then having to get up later is gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of challenge, but that's okay. All right, so let's see if we can get in here. All right, so I decided to, on this piece, I had painted it all in abundance and then decided I really wanted the legs to be gold. There's kind of a little bit here, and this will be part step 2 in a minute. So I went ahead and put, because I like, just in case any of my gold shows for any reason, or any of the underneath shows, I want it to be red. It's kind of like how when you do a red underneath a leafing. So typically under a gold leaf you'll have reddish color, and I just kind of like the Firelight was a really pretty color, so a very vibrant color. And so I painted one coat on there on the legs. So let's get down a little bit further here. And y'all, I forgot my earrings at home, so I am wearing something a little bit different today. So I haven't worn dangly earrings since I had a corporate job. So but if I don't wear any earrings, I feel a little naked, so can't have that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is we're using the pale gold. There we go. All right, pale gold on this one. Again, I just put a coat of Firelight, which is a reddish orange tone, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do one coat of pale gold. All right, and a little bit will go a long way. So let's see if I can get you guys closer. There. All right. So I've got a multitude of brushes I like to use. So make sure you guys can see. And you can start at the top or the bottom. I tend to like to start here with these little feet. Now, I'm going to show you what we're going to do on this to combat this. Right now, my first coat, I'm just going to get it on there with this roller thing on in the way. So I will show you what I do to alleviate that. It'll be our last step because I won't be able to move it for a while. All right. So I like it that it's on rollers right now because I can kind of move it and get all my spots. Let's see. And these you can get at a hardware store, or you can get them at Harbor Freight, Lowe's, Menards, whatever you've got that you sell or you buy these kind of things. These are called 3-wheel dollies, I believe. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead. I have a softy brush. It's super duper soft. I liked it the other day. Let's see if I like it again today. I can be a little fickle on my brushes. So this is a very soft brush, and it gives me a very soft effect. Instead of having a lot of brush strokes, it tends to alleviate those brush strokes. Okay, and with metallics, go in one direction, meaning like up and down or side to side. All right, so you'll notice it's kind of like a velvet. If you go side to side and then up and down, you will notice that. So you don't want that. And typically on a leg like that, I would go side to side, but because I'm using the metallics, I want to go one direction. So also what would be helpful for this piece, possibly, if you have a furniture lift, you could just set it on there and lift it up. I have one. It's just for camera purpose. It's not as easy to move around. Once I have the piece on the lift, it's kind of easier to just kind of keep it stationary. Even though it does have wheels, it just doesn't maneuver as easily. All right, so, all right, still can see that. All right, you guys, if you have questions, just shout them down at the bottom. You don't have to put a base of red. I like the base of red. It's just kind of my thing. Because, you know, maybe I might distress some of this back. I don't know. Who knows? Sometimes the pieces just kind of transform as we're painting them. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. But I would prefer the Firelight coming underneath the gold Because remember, we're doing an Asian fusion piece here. All right. Okay. Let's get a little bit more. Alrighty. So this one's a little, I'm gonna let that dry. I don't want to touch it now that I've already got kind of the paint and maybe tacking up on me. So I will get that very top part when I put my second coat on. And for my gold, I feel like I need to do a second coat. I want it to be very opaque and very gold-like. All right. Okay. You know. All right. I don't want to overwork it, because if you overwork it, you can mess it up or make it gummy. We don't want to make it gummy. Now, if you have a drip, fix the drip. But if you don't have a drip, don't do it. All right. So sometimes the challenge is keeping these legs on. All right. So we're gonna let that one dry. Make sure we got all the parts done. All right, so it's completely done there. So we'll let that dry. And what we're gonna do next is the second coat on here. So let's see. All right, so what I like to do, because remember where we have this leg on this piece is kind of a pain. So you've got this cupping. Let's see if I can get it off here. It's kind of stuck. All right, so it's been cupping this, so you've got paint, it's sticking to this. So I just take a little 2x4 piece of scrap that I have, and I'm going to very carefully, let me see, I'm gonna stand up and do that because I'm not gonna murder myself here on camera. Get squished under furniture. All right, so what I'm gonna do is lift this up and remove that, and I'm gonna set that down. So there's just a lot of excess that we're missing, and we're not getting all the way on the bottom of those feet. You could, if instead of doing little 3-wheel dollies, you can always put it on like a little flatbed if you have it. I don't have one, so I'm working with what I got. So I'm gonna make sure I don't have any extra weird going on under this. So let's get down on that foot. All right, so this was my first coat. Really good coverage, but I want it to be a little more gold. And y'all, this paint goes an incredibly long way. We're using pale gold today, and it is Paint Couture. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my second coat. My second coat is where I'm gonna make sure I get all my under parts here that I missed because they were sitting on the three-legged dolly there, or 3-wheel dolly. So get that. All right. Okay. And then make sure after me at, let's see, 6 o'clock our time, Central, 7 Eastern, Dustin, my friend Dustin comes on, and he has a really cool project, so you guys need to tune in and see what he's got up his sleeve. Okay, this part is hard for me to see on that, so we're just going to go ahead and get all of that gold, smooth it all out on this piece. And I'm not really worried about it getting on my little 2x4 scrap, so you can just, it's a scrap, that's why we have it, and just fix it. So it's just that we want to get that really good under there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just get this right under here and pull down. Sometimes I kind of wiggle it in there. It's got like a little lip inside there, so we just go ahead and get that all on there, get that all in that little groove we've got going on right there. All right, this is like liquid gold, y'all. It's so pretty. All right, and it's not all artificial looking. Like, and the coverage is awesome. So pretty pleased with it. It looks like I have a gold leg here. I used to sell furniture with a lot of gold paint and gold leafing on some of the finer pieces, some of the reproduction pieces, and it was really pretty. So I feel pretty confident we're right in that really pretty range. And it's all water based, so no oil based here. Soap and water cleanup. All right. And again, like I said, I go in one direction, so we don't have what I call like a little velvety effect. So when you're playing with velvets and you brush it back and forth, you can get kind of that weird finish. So we don't want that. So I'll have to get this side over here. I can't really get it because I can't see too well, but I'm going to go ahead and just apply a little bit there. But I'll make sure I got it really good in a minute when I can maneuver over there. This is a very soft brush, so it leaves very minimal brush strokes. For me, it looks more like a little gold leafing there, a little texture from that. So we've got that guy is done. So super easy peasy. I'll go ahead and put this away. I don't need that anymore. Again, soap and water cleanup, and a little bit does go a long way. We've been actually using this little pot of pale gold for a bit. So this was a little a sample I had originally gotten of the 2 ounce of the pale gold, and I like the color. It's actually the closest to the vintage gold by Prima. So if you were trying to match up some things, this would be a perfect one to match up with that. So it's a good looking color. Just on all your metallics, make sure you always stir. We've already had this one stirred, but you always want to make sure you stir them. They do have actual metal in them, so you want to make sure and get that all dispersed in that. So that is looking good. We've got some gold up here that we're working on, so we've got a little bit of touch up. I had to put the insert back in today, so we had taken it all the way out, painted it, and I put it back in. So we'll be showing that on Thursday on Paint Couture's page, and we'll also be let's see, we should be able to do, I don't know, we'll see how far we are gonna go, but we'll show the inside color on that. And that's it. So I'm super excited. Can't wait to share the rest of this piece with you as we grow. And we ordered hardware. It came in. It was a little different. So I will show you guys why it was different and why I had to order more parts. So hopefully we are going to be rocking on the hardware I ordered. Otherwise, I've got backup hardware. So whatever happens. So we'll see. We always roll with it. So we'll see if we have to putty any of the holes here. We're not sure yet. I think we can use what we have, but we're just waiting on hardware at this point. So I'm excited. Can't wait to see you guys. Happy painting, and I'll see you on Thursday. Catch Dustin next in about 30-ish minutes.